It was a sunny afternoon, the kind that seemed to promise a perfect carefree day. I had just wrapped up a stressful week at work, feeling worn out but relieved to finally have some time to spend with my daughter Emma. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a golden glow over everything, and for the first time in what felt like forever, everything seemed peaceful. Before we dive in, please subscribe. It means the world to us and helps us bring you more amazing stories. I grabbed her hand as we made our way to the local park, a little tradition we had that always brought joy. Emma, with her boundless energy, was already running ahead, eager to reach the swings. She was my sunshine, my anchor, and in this moment, everything felt right. My wife, Claire, had told me she'd join us later after finishing up a few errands. As we neared the playground, I noticed something odd. Across the field, I saw Claire standing with Coach Tyler, the coach of the youth baseball team. They were talking, laughing, their faces inches apart. And then, just as I was about to call out to them, my daughter looked up at me, her innocent expression breaking the moment's peace. "That's the coach kissing Mom," she said, her voice light as if it was nothing more than a simple observation. For a moment, everything froze. The world around me seemed to blur like a dream fading into reality. My body went numb. I tried to push the words away, convince myself that Emma had misunderstood, but a cold dread began to creep over me. The way she said it so nonchalantly, it wasn't a mistake. She had seen something I wasn't ready to confront. I turned to Emma, trying to mask my panic. "What do you mean?" I asked, though I already knew. She simply pointed again as though the answer was obvious. "The coach and Mom, Daddy. They were kissing." My mind raced. Kissing? Was this some kind of joke? My wife, Claire, the woman I trusted with my life? Was it possible? Had I missed something? I felt a rush of anger, confusion, and betrayal flooding through me. But most of all, I felt fear that my whole world, the family I had built, was about to shatter. Emma's innocent voice seemed to cut through the haze. "They do it all the time, Daddy. Why are you looking so upset?" I struggled to steady myself. "What do you mean all the time?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper, but Emma just shrugged. "They're always together." A part of me wanted to ignore it, to convince myself that Emma didn't fully understand what she had seen. After all, she was just a child. But deep down, I knew something had shifted, and now I couldn't ignore it. I had to face whatever truth was out there, no matter how painful. The rest of the afternoon passed in a blur. We went home, but my mind wasn't there. I couldn't stop thinking about what Emma had said. The thought of Claire with someone else, someone who wasn't me, gnawed at me, eating away at my insides. I couldn't pretend everything was fine anymore. Claire finally arrived home later that evening. She looked the same, beautiful, calm, but there was something different about her. The usual warmth in her eyes seemed a little distant, and I noticed she was acting a little more nervous than usual. It wasn't like her. I took a deep breath, my heart pounding in my chest. The question I had been avoiding for hours burned in my mind. "Claire," I said, trying to keep my voice steady, though it cracked slightly. "Did you kiss Coach Tyler today?" She stopped in her tracks, the spoon she was holding almost falling from her hand. Her face paled instantly, and for the briefest moment, I saw fear in her eyes. It was subtle, but it was there. A cold, unsettling silence stretched between us. My heart raced. "What are you talking about?" she asked, trying to sound casual. But her voice betrayed her. It was too calm, too controlled, like she was hiding something. I didn't let it go. Couldn't. "My daughter said she saw you two kissing. What's going on, Claire?" She didn't answer right away. Her eyes dropped to the floor, and for a long moment, there was nothing but silence. It felt like hours passed in those few seconds, the tension thick and unbearable. Finally, Claire spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't want you to find out this way." The words hit me like a punch in the gut. "What way? What are you talking about?" She took a deep breath, and then the truth came pouring out in a torrent. "Tyler and we've been seeing each other for a while now. I never meant for it to happen, but it did. It's not what you think. But I'm in love with him. I felt like the ground had been pulled out from under me. This wasn't real. This couldn't be happening. My wife, the woman I had built my life with, the woman I trusted, was in love with someone else. I stood there speechless, my mind a whirlwind of disbelief. Why? Why would you do this to me? She started crying then, her hands trembling. I didn't mean to hurt you. I really didn't. It just happened. Tyler, he was there for me when I needed someone. We've been growing closer, and one thing led to another. I'm so sorry. I was numb. I couldn't process the words she was saying. I could barely breathe. The woman I had loved, the mother of my children, had betrayed me in the most unforgivable way. And yet, here she was crying, apologizing as if she could undo the damage. I couldn't stay there. I couldn't look at her, at the woman who had shared my bed, my life, and my love. I don't know if I can do this anymore, Claire, I said, my voice barely audible. I'm done. She reached out to me, her voice pleading. Please don't leave. Don't walk away from this. We can fix this. I swear. But I shook my head. It's too late. Once trust is broken, it can never be the same. The days that followed were a blur of pain and disbelief. Claire moved out. The kids stayed with me, and I did my best to shield them from the heartbreak I was feeling. But how do you explain betrayal to your children? How do you tell them that the foundation of their world, the family they had known, was falling apart? Claire and Coach Tyler stayed together. It wasn't easy to watch, but I had to let go. I had no choice. I had to focus on my kids, on rebuilding what was left of my life. I became a single father, and in many ways, I found a new strength in myself. The days were hard and the nights were longer, but I knew I couldn't stay in the shadows of someone else's mistakes. I had to move forward, for my children, for my own sanity. The months passed and the hurt began to fade, though it would never truly disappear. There were days when I missed Claire, when I longed for the life we had, but I couldn't ignore the truth. She had chosen him over me, and in doing so, she had destroyed everything we had built. Looking back, I realized that betrayal isn't just about an affair. It's about broken trust, lost love, and the pain that lingers long after the truth comes out. But it's also about finding the strength to move on, to rebuild your life, and to learn from the mistakes of others. If you're going through something similar, don't stay in a toxic situation because you think you have no choice. There is always a way out. Don't let someone's mistakes define your future. You deserve better. If you've experienced betrayal or if you're struggling to move on from a broken relationship, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to hear more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe.